You know how everybody's got like that junk drawer with all the old fitness trackers? Yeah, mine is like overflowing. It's like a graveyard of good intentions, you
Yeah.
know? Makes you wonder, like with all these health apps, are we really making any progress? Or are we just feeding our digital distractions? Well, today we're doing a deep dive on a company that is taking a radically different approach. They're called Health Rocket, and their goal is to add 1 million years. Yeah, you heard that right, 1 million years of healthy life to their users.
It's certainly a bold ambition, but what I think is so interesting here is that they're not just focused on lifespan, it's about health span. Those years where you're really thriving.
Okay, so not just living longer, it's about like squeezing every last drop
Yeah.
out of the years we have. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But how do they plan to actually pull this off?
Well, they're really tapping into a powerful trend that we're seeing, particularly among high achievers. This desire to optimize every single aspect of life. And yes, that includes aging. It's about pushing boundaries, defying expectations. And Health Rocket, they've gamified that pursuit. They've turned this quest for a longer, healthier life into, well, a game.
So instead of chasing high scores, it's about chasing health span. Okay, I like it. But let's get into how it works. How does this game actually work?
Well, at the heart of it all is something they call their Health Rocket Velocity Engine. Imagine like a personalized dashboard. That aggregates all of your health data, and I mean everything, from wearables and blood work to even things like biometric scans. And the idea is the more data you feed it, the more accurate your health score becomes.
So it's like creating a high-definition picture of your current health status. But then what?
That's where the game mechanics kick in. Based on your health score, you're presented with these customized challenges. Things like boosts, 21-day challenges, and then the more intensive 90-day quests.
Okay, walk me through some examples. What kind of things are we talking about here?
Well, they really run the gamut. Like a boost could be something as simple as hitting your hydration goals every day, or maybe incorporating a gratitude app into your routine. Think quick wins, low barrier to entry. Then you've got your 21-day challenges, like cutting out sugar, or significantly upping your daily step count. Things that require a bit more, commitment and
Like the
effort.
90-day quests? Those are the big leaguers.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking serious dedication here, like a complete lifestyle overhaul in some cases, optimizing sleep patterns, potentially even incorporating things like intermittent fasting or, maybe even those cold plunges we hear so much about.
Okay, you lost me at cold plunges. I'm all
Yeah.
for extending my health span, but there are some lines I'm not willing to cross.
Well, that's the beauty of it. It's about personalization, right? The challenges are designed to be diverse enough to resonate with different personalities and preferences.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Find the challenges that motivate you, that fit into your lifestyle. But they're also tapping into a bit of our, I don't know, competitive spirit, aren't they? I mean, there's a reason all those step-counting apps have leaderboards.
Oh, absolutely. Healthy competition can be a tremendously powerful motivator. And Health Rocket knows this. They leverage that by incorporating things like leaderboards and progress tracking. Because let's face it, seeing how you stack up against others, especially within their target communities like Gobundance and YPO, that can be a huge incentive. It's about tapping into that drive, the one that fuels so many high achievers. That desire to be at the top of their game, whether it's business or in this case, their health.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Appealing to a very specific mindset, which makes sense considering their target audience. But let's be honest, not everybody thrives in that kind of competitive environment, right?
Hmm.
Could be a turnoff for some people.
Oh, absolutely. That's a very valid concern. Gamification, it's not a magic bullet or anything. For some people, it can become, you know what I mean, like addictive almost.
Hmm.
Or it can even spark like really unhealthy competition. It's a fine line. And to their credit, Health Rocket, they do seem to acknowledge this. When you look at their SWOT analysis, they recognize that there are potential downsides, even as they're trying to harness the power of, this whole gamification thing.
Okay, so let's talk about that SWOT analysis for a second. It's like taking a peek under the hood, seeing what makes this company tick.
Exactly. It's a tool for, honest self-assessment. And Health Rocket seems to have done their homework, I think. I mean, one of their biggest strengths, for sure, has got to be their leadership team. They've got, like, a decade of experience organizing events, promoting healthy lifestyles. Plus, on top of all that, they're actually part of GoBundance themselves. So talk about understanding your target market.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're building the product that they wish they had. But even with that kind of insider knowledge, aren't there some like major challenges? I mean, building a successful health and wellness app, it's no easy feat.
Right. And they do seem to be pretty upfront about that. They acknowledge that they don't have a ton of direct experience
Yeah.
when it comes to, mobile game development. And they're relying a lot on AI, from coding to like even financial forecasting, which is innovative, sure, but also, pretty risky.
Yeah, that's a bold move for sure.
Mm.
High risk, high reward, I guess.
Yeah.
So what about opportunities? Where do they see the biggest potential for growth?
Well, I mean, let's be real. The wellness market is absolutely booming right now. People are becoming so much more proactive about their health. They're searching for solutions that actually fit into their lifestyle. And I think Health Rocket, they're really smartly positioning themselves at the forefront of this trend,
Yeah. Yeah.
gamifying the journey in a way that I think traditional methods really haven't quite cracked yet.
Yeah, and it seems like they're uh, really betting big on their target demographic, these high-performing leaders
Yeah.
who are, let's be honest, used to investing time and resources to achieve their goals.
Right, exactly. It is a niche market, but it's a very lucrative one. And these individuals, they are often incredibly motivated, driven by this desire, I think, to just perform at their peak in all areas of life. And Health Rocket is kind of offering them a tangible way to like quantify and track their progress, right? Which I think really appeals to their analytical minds.
Yeah, brutally. But even with even with a captive audience, there are always going to be threats. What about some of the external factors that you think could throw a wrench in their plans?
Well, I mean, I think competition is a huge one. The health tech industry, I mean, it's
Mhm.
totally saturated. If Health Rocket gains any kind of traction at all, it's only a matter of time before the copycats start popping up, right? And then there's the issue that I think is always present with this kind of stuff, data privacy. I mean, they are collecting
Yeah.
a massive amount of really personal health information. Safeguarding that data is absolutely paramount.
Yeah, that is a huge issue,
Mhm.
especially given like the sensitive nature of health data. They do mention data privacy in their plans, but what specific safeguards are they actually implementing to like protect user information?
That's a good question. And to be honest, they are, at least in this documentation, a bit light on specifics, which is a little concerning. I think transparency is going to be absolutely crucial here. They need to be upfront about their data security measures, ideally with, clear, easy to understand policies. Users need to know how their data is being collected, stored, how is it being used, and most importantly, how is it being protected?
Totally. I mean, it's one thing to say we take data privacy seriously. It's a whole other thing to actually implement, really robust security protocols. That's definitely something I'd want to see a lot more detail on before I ever even thought about signing up, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's such a critical piece of the puzzle. But I do have to say, even with those concerns, you can't deny the potential impact of something like Health Rocket is pretty undeniable, right? Like, just imagine a world where we're all actively engaged in extending our health span. And not just motivated by, like, the fear of illness, but by, the thrill of the game.
Yeah, it's kind of a paradigm shift, isn't it? And it makes you wonder, if a game could actually add years to your life, wouldn't you at least be a little bit curious to try it? Curious, yeah, for sure. Sold. Not quite. Like I said, I'd need some serious reassurance on that whole data privacy thing, but it really gets you thinking, you know, would you play Health Rocket? What's your take on all this?
I think for me, honestly, it would come down to personal preference, Like some people, they just thrive on competition. Love the idea of gamifying like every single aspect of life. Other people, not so much. So I think it's about, knowing yourself, finding what clicks for you.
Yeah, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to health, that's for sure. But what I keep coming back to is that idea of like actively extending your health span, not just passive longevity,
Yeah.
but like really wringing the most out of every year.
And that's a really powerful message, I think. That goes way beyond any app or game. It's about like taking ownership, right? Making choices today that are going to pay off years and years down the line.
And that brings us to, I think, the real heart of it. We've explored Health Rocket, their ambitious goals, their potential pitfalls. But here's the real question for you listening at home. If a game could actually add years to your life, would it change how you live today? Would you make different choices? Prioritize your well-being in a whole new way.
It's a really powerful thought experiment, isn't it? It forces us to examine our relationship with our health, our relationship with time itself. Maybe that's the real game changer here. Maybe Health Rocket's, most lasting impact won't be measured in years added, but in that collective shift we're seeing towards a more, proactive, empowered approach to health.
It's certainly a thought-provoking note to end on. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep.